Hi everyone, Stephanie and Kasia here with a class for you that's going to take 45 minutes. It's a nice basic class and it's one that you can follow at home or you could do it in a group with people. I'm just wondering why the music's playing, Kasia. I'm going to turn the music off again. It must be the magic music. So as always, you have a chair handy. Kasia's going to sit down for most of the class, but she will stand up for some of the balance work because it's pretty hard to practice balance when you're sitting on your backside. So we're going to have music, but the music's of no consequence. If you can't hear it too well, it doesn't matter, just follow with us. If something hurts you, and particularly if it's a joint like your elbow or your shoulder or your hip or your knee, then you should stop and have a think about whether you should start again. If it's the muscles that are just getting a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit tired, then we say press on for as long as you can, but rest if you need to. So particularly when we're doing something standing on one leg, the leg we're standing on works super hard, so that might get a little bit tired. We'll start with a warm-up and then we'll do some balance and some strength and some cardio and a little bit more balance and a little more strength, and then we'll stretch and have a rest. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to just move slightly to the side so that I can still hold my chair if I need to, and we're going to start marching for this very simple warm-up, and the song is called Walking After Midnight, which is not when we're walking. Hopefully it's not when we're walking. You go out walking after midnight, maybe that's a little bit dangerous. So we're going to start marching on this leg. Let's go. And just a nice easy march. Thinking about your feet on the floor, pushing a little bit out of the balls of your feet, and as Kasia's just showing you, she needs to come forward a little bit to march comfortable on the seats.
Elbows aren't banging in
That's right. Although if you've got chairs with arms, you end up walking like this. Alright, now we're moving into a move called a heel dig. I'll show you, then you can join me. It goes heel, heel, heel. Now this is the fast option of the heel dig. We'll be doing it again slowly. If you want to just swing your arms, you can. I tend to put my hand on my hips, which looks a bit strange. So you're trying to gently put your heel into the floor and your toe comes as far up as you can get it. We'll do a few more, perhaps 4, 3, let's come back to that march. So you should be starting to just get a little bit of warmth in the body. So we've done our heel digs, now we're going to go to a toe point. Ready, let's go. Toe, toe. Kasia wants to do them slowly.
I can do them slow.
So the most important part of this one is to really stretch that foot out. So now we're pointing our toe and tapping it on the floor. Come back to a march. So we've learned our heel digs and our toe points. And our next move is a tap out to the side. So you might want to keep marching and have a look at what I do. Let's start now. Tap, tap, tap. That's it. It's just a little one. And Kasia's doing the slow version, so you could follow her if you want to. You can just swing your arms naturally, or you can join me with them on your hips. Let's do another couple. Come back to that march. Nice. So the body should be starting to feel a little bit warmer. You might be starting to be a tiny bit breathless. Hopefully not too much. Alright, our next move is a tap behind. Just be a little bit careful as you do this. It's not so easy sitting down, but you can manage. Let's go. Tap, tap. And you'll see that I'm just putting my toe down behind. Starting to warm up the muscles in our backside and up the back of our legs. So we might do 4 more of these. And come back to the march. Nice. Now we're going to repeat those 4 exercises, but do them all slowly. When you do them slowly, it becomes a little bit of a balancing act. Heel dig slow. heel, together, heel, together. And you'll see I'm coming down a little bit onto a very slightly bent knee. Good, that toe's coming up. Now those of you who want to, you might like to do a little push forward with the arms. I'm not going to, but if you're ready for a bit more, you can do that. We'll do another couple. Alright, let's come back to the march. Now if you want to make that march a little bit bigger, swing the arms a bit more, pull the knees up a bit further. That's going to help get your heart rate up a bit more. So our next move, toe points, nice and slowly. Point, put it back. So you can see we're spending a little bit of time on one leg. See if you can pick your foot up and bring it back. Nice. Couple more. And back to that march. This is the only class that Kasha and I are doing today, so we're going to have plenty. Oh no, Kasha has got a class. Whoa, maybe she better take it a bit easy. Tapping to the side, do it slowly, slowly. Good. And when you do these slowly, you can make them a little bit bigger. I think just two more. Come back to that march. Nice. So just one more move in this part of the warm-up to do, and that's our little tap behind. We'll do that right now. Slow. And if you're finding this pretty easy, you might want to reach the arms forward, or you can reach them back. So as you goes back, those arms can come back, or you can reach your arms forward. We're going to do 4 more. 3, 2, and back to the march. All right, I hope everyone's nice and warm. So for those of you who are at home, make sure you've got a chair for this one. We're just going to take our feet a little bit apart and give our toes a tiny tap, just to make sure those ankles are nice and warm. And when we start marching, we're going to start marching on the other leg. All right, let's march. So side steps, trying to do them without looking where we're going. And we'll make it into a bit more of a balanced activity by holding something in front of our faces. All right, single step, over and back, over and back. So we don't normally go sideways, so that's why it's a balance exercise. And I want you just to take a little look down at your feet, make sure you're picking them up. Good, 4 more here. Now do 2 steps, over and over, back and back. That's it. Try not to look down at the floor or look at where you're going. Now take 4 little steps across. 2, 3, 4. Come back. Good.
This is where I could perhaps stand up, right?
You can stand up next. Come back. We're going to use the balls.
Okay.
Right. March on the spot. Alright, can you find the ball that you've got? Or maybe a pair of socks or a rolled up towel? And Kasha is going to stand up and she's going to put the ball in one hand and hang on to her chair with the other hand. So she's going to do a really good demonstration of getting up out of the chair, which is digging her heels in. Alright, and I'm going to put the ball in front of my face like that so I can't look down and see the floor. Okay, we're going to go straight in 4 little steps to the side. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1, come back. And you can keep hanging on to your chair. Do it again. Good, and come back. Lovely. Take a march. Good. Now our very last one of these is to take slow steps to the side. So we'll start with 2 slow steps and then work it up to be 4. You ready? So we're going to be going that way. Let's go. Over, together. Over, tap. Back, together, back. And 1 more with 2. Tap that foot, come back. Lovely. Now let's do 4 steps slowly. Over, 2, 3, 4, might want to check the chairs there if you need it. 2, 3, and 4. Lovely. All right. Let's just turn that music off so we can really concentrate on what we're doing. So what I'd like you to do, standing behind your chair, is stand with your feet side by side. So I'm just going to stay here so you can see my feet. Kasia will go right behind her chair. So I know the chair's there, so if I need to, I can grab it. And I want you to stand up as tall as you can and look straight ahead. Pretty simple. Now let's just take one arm up in the air and bring it down, take the other arm up in the air, and then maybe do a little bit of slightly quicker, moving the arms around a little bit, and everyone looks fantastic. All right, so let's go to the next stage, which is what's called a semi-tandem stand. So you're going to have one foot just offset against the other one. So you're putting that big bulgy bit of one foot into the instep of the other one, and it's not a heck of a lot harder, but enough more difficult to make you think, maybe I need to hang on. So same thing again, lift one arm up and the other arm up, and then very slowly. You see that Kasia is keeping one hand on the chair. That's it, and try not to look down at the floor because that gives us too much help. All right, so we're pretty good with that one. Let's change to the other foot in front. And I'm going to get us to do a little bit of dual tasking next, and we'll just start by lifting one arm up and the other arm up. You can really do whatever you like with your arms. You're just trying to make it a little bit difficult for your legs to do that balance. All right, so now comes the tricky part. So the pattern we're going to use is at the bottom 1 clap, in the middle 2 claps, and at the top 3 claps. And when you do your 3 claps up here, see if you can lift your eyes up. Now if you don't want to let go of the chair, you have to do a pretend clap. Okay, so let's get the pattern going. 1 clap, 2 claps, 3 claps. 1 clap, 2 claps. Oh, is it your tongue? Good. 1 clap, 2 clap, 1, 2, 3. Do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Nice. Change feet. This time, we're going to start at the bottom with 3 claps, the middle with 2, and the top with 1. And when I say switch, you're going to change the pattern back to 1 at the bottom, 2 in the middle, and 3 at the top. Harder than it sounds. Right, let's go. 3 at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, switch. Oh, nearly got me. One more time. If Kasia hadn't done that extra slap, I would have got that wrong. So that's something that you're doing where you have to think a little bit and you're still watching your balance. All right, we're going to go to the full tandem. Now, some of you might not like this one, so you might want to definitely keep a hand on the chair. So this is where one foot's right in front of the other, and it's really challenging. So let's see how we go. See if you can take your hand away for a moment. And your feet will be doing this, and that's exactly what they should be doing, because that's your balance work happening. Okay? Put your hand back if you need to relax for a moment, and let's change to the other foot. So over the coming weeks, we'll be working on that position, that full tandem, way, way harder than the semi-tandem. So just get used to that feeling of your feet having to do this. And if you spread your toes out inside your shoes, it helps a little bit. And you can practice this at home with bare feet. You can scrunch your toes into the carpet or the floor. All right, and relax. Good work. So that's a little bit of balance work. Now let's get working on our muscles, the muscles of our legs. And we're both going to sit down for this one. You need to put your ball out of the way. And I might just turn my chair around. Actually, you turn your chair around.
I'll turn my chair around.
Okay, so sitting on the chair with our feet flat on the floor, hip distance apart for the knees, and sitting up as tall as you can. So you can do this exercise called a hover with your hands on your legs to help you, or you can hold the chair to help you. But what you should be doing is pushing your heels into the floor really hard, and I'll show you what a hover looks like. You just lift your bottom off the chair, keep looking up, and then you pop it back down. So we're both using our hands at the moment, which is a good idea because there's a few of these to go. So we push our heels into the floor and then sit back down, and try and sit back down without plopping your bottom down. Just try and do it really gently. Let's do another practice one. Good. Okay. Now we're going to do some hovering and holding. I'm going to see if I can do mine without using my hands. All right. Dig those heels in. Hold. Pop your bottom back and sit down. Nice. Let's do another one. Dig those heels in. Hold it. Lift up and pop your bottom back. Good. Alright. Let's see if we can do 4 more.
Try some different handles.
So hold. And pop that back down. That's 1. 3 to go. Hover just above the chair. Now I have to say that if you're taller, this is probably hard. So a little wee shorty like me finds it not too bad. Good. And we'll do 2 more. So 1, and of course if this is not feeling great for your knees, then you stop and just rest. And another one. 1, 2, make it a bit longer. 3, 3.5, 4. Good. So you would have felt that in your quads and big time in your backside. So when we think about it, our next exercise is just a sit to stand, and we've already done the hard part. Then all we have to do is stand up, and then we push our bottoms back and sit down. So if you've got arms on the chair, you can press on that, you can press on here, you can press on your thighs. I'm going to do it with no hands, still digging my heels in. So we're going to try for 5 of these. Let's go. Dig your heels in, straighten up, and then push your bottom back and sit down. That's 1. Come on up. Wait for a moment at the top, and sit down, and let's go again, up. And you should be feeling your legs, back and front, and your back sides. Is this our last one? No, I think this is our second to last one. And sit it down. Let's see if we can stand up to the count of 4, and sit down to the count of 4. All right, digging those heels in, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, sitting down to the count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, good. Alright, you might want to give them a little bit of a shake out. And while we're sitting, before we stand up to do our next exercise, we're just going to do some work for our ankles. So I want you to put the heels slightly in front and start tapping. So it seems like a pretty easy exercise. Really important because you're working on your ankle strength and flexibility, and a little muscle here called tibialis anterior, which can be pretty weak. I can feel my tibialis anterior more. Really, what about you?
I was just noticing you've got the padded chair. Can I have that next time?
Yes, it is a little bit padded.
Plastic chairs, not the most comfortable.
Now you'll be starting to feel the front of your leg at the side there, but if you can keep going a bit more, let's do an out and in, out, in, out, in. And you'll also be working some other muscles as well. Whoa. 4 to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yes, other foot. Well, you're very pleased you're not a centipede. Or a spider, or a cockroach. You wouldn't want to be a cockroach in my house. Even the name is pretty hideous, isn't it? Oh, so if this is too much for your muscles, you can stop and have a rest. You might be able to come back in after a little rest. Good, we've got 8 more to be the same as the other leg. 4, 3, 2, out and in. And can't just think by tapping her hand, she's holding her leg.
Distraction.
And 4, 3, 2, then there's just 4 more. 2 more. 2, there we go. Oh, give them a rub. Gosh, and I could feel all of this up here too. Now, the next thing we're going to do is a little bit of cardio or huff and puff. And I'm going to give you two options. There's a seated option that works really, really well, and in some ways it's harder than the standing option. And then there's a standing option. So let's have a look at the seated option. So the first thing we're going to do is a side tap, and it's just a very little one. But you've got a bit of a bounce with it. Bounce, bounce. Yep. So that's your side tap, okay? My second really favourite exercise is a little fast feet. And you can just do the fast feet, or you can add the fast feet sounds a bit hard. We can call this pitter patter, okay? And the next exercise is a knee lift. So knee and down, knee and down. You can do any speed. And you can just do little ones. Okay, those are our 3 exercises. I'll show you the standing versions. So we always come behind our chair, so we've got something to hang on to. And the side tap, you can hold the chair and you tap out to the side, and you can do a wee bounce with that, okay? Or you can just be tapping side to side. Some people like to use their arms, you can decide for yourself. Then we've got our little pitter-patter feet, and then some knee lifts. And you might want to stand beside the chair and hold on. All right, about 20 seconds of each exercise, and then we get a rest. So you don't get a rest until you've done a minute. That sounds a bit challenging, doesn't it? If it's too much, just have a rest, and you might only want to do this 1 time through. So let's go with our side taps. I'm going to do my first one with a bounce, and maybe my second set without a bounce. We're about halfway now. Alright, 2 more and we'll be at our time, and let's go straight into our little pitter-patter feet. It's always easy the first time through, because you know, lots of energy, lots of work happening there. That's it, we've got about another 5 seconds. 2, 1. Straight into knee lifts. Up and up. So, standing tall, and it doesn't matter how high you lift it. If you want to put some arms in, you might want to just tap or turn it next. That will make it a bit harder. Gosh, I'm puffing, which is the intention. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we get a rest. So you choose. 1 more set like that, or you can just sit it out or stand it out. Alright, so we're ready? Side taps. Oh yes, I've still got a wee bit of bounce in my legs. Okay, I'm just going to put some arms in. I'm just going to keep the arms out. Alright, we've got time for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and the next exercise is our little pitter-patter feet. Pitter-patter. And you're really only just lifting those feet off the floor. You can do it just with your arms if you want to, and no legs, and that's actually quite hard. 4 more counts. 3, and 2, and 1, straight into knee lifts. We will definitely need a rest after this. Let's do another 6. 4, 3, 2, last one. Oh, let's all have a sit down. Nice. Oh, we get rid of that lollipop song in case we feel we need some sugar. All right.
Accidentally started singing.
Okay, so you might want to have a little shake out. Might be a good time for a drink. You might want to just check everything's okay. And we're going to move on now. We're only doing one set of cardio because as you use the big muscles of your legs, you'll start to get your heart rates up anyway. So now we've got toe and heel walking, which are balance exercises, but also help strengthen up the muscles in our lower limbs. So you can do your toe walking sitting down and your heel walking, or you can do it standing up. So if you're ready to go, let's do, well, those of us that are standing up, do one good stand up, come back around behind your chair. And if you've not done any of this toe and heel walking before, you want to hold on to your chair. I'm going to do it at the side and try not to hold on to my chair. So let's just take an ordinary old march. And when you're ready, come up on your toes. I'll do a side view so you can see. Now you might find this quite hard on your ankles, so we won't do very much at once until we get those ankles nice and strong. So now we're going to rock back and just march on our heels, which is hard. Not the sort of thing we do very often. Good, come back to an ordinary old march. Now you'll know if you want to sit down and do this because you might find your calves are feeling a little bit overworked, so let's come back up on our toes. Nice. Back to flat feet. And rock back onto our heels. Good. No problem to hold on. And back to flat feet. Excellent. All right, just give your legs a little bit of a shake out. Because I'd like to do a bit more of that. What I'd like to do this time is turn side onto your chair. Gosh, I might be able to stand up and do it, maybe. No, stay seated. And we're going to try and come up on our toes and just travel forward. Only as far as we can go and still hold on to the chair. I'm going to turn the knees off because that might make you think you've got to do it quickly. So we come up on our toes again and come forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back down, slowly turn around and let's come up onto our toes again and 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, down. Turn around slowly. Onto your toes, and 4, 3, 2, 1. I managed to do that one without hanging on. All right, give your legs a shake out. Now we're going to see if we can do it as a heel walk. So, toes up on your heels, eyes up, looking straight ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a tendency with this one to stick your backside out. See if you can do it without sticking it out too far. Alright, so we're standing tall, looking up, and heel walk forward. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Down we go and turn around. We'll make this our last set. So we're going to do all our heels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turning it around. I'm going to see if I can walk without holding on this time. Away we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. All right, if you need to have a sit down, have a sit down. If you need to have a drink, and let's move on. So we're now going to do our rear leg lifts. Not the most fun exercise. And the seated version, you need to come right forward in your chairs, holding on to
turn side on.
Yeah, your cash will turn side on. And you're going to tap your toe back underneath the chair. So tap and bring it back. Tap and bring it back. So if you've got long legs like Kasia has, you can't get that far under. And it's not a brilliant exercise as an option, but it's better than nothing. So sitting down is fine. Now I'm also going to turn side on, and I'm going to do the standing version, which is holding onto the chair, being as tall as I can, heel out the back and come in and tap. So it's just a very little lift. And you're trying to keep your foot flexed, so it's your heel that's pushing backwards. And you feel this right in the whole area of your backside and down your hamstrings. So we're just going to do a couple of sets on each leg, but we'll have a rest in between. All right. Kasia going on holiday this afternoon, so I'll get you to choose how many repetitions you get to do.
None's not an option.
None's not an option, no. It's got to be an 8 or a 16 or a 32.
Well, 8 is my favourite number.
Okay, so we're doing 8. Nice and tall, pulling that tum in. And away we go. 1. Nice and slow. 2.
Must be like I'm in a hurry to get on holiday.
3. And tap. 4. And tap. 5. You don't have to lift your leg high. 6. And tap. 7. And tap. Here's our last one of the set. Good. And just have to shake out. Okay, other leg. So super slow for the first set. Nice and tall. Let's go. 1. And tap. 2. And tap. Try to push that heel backwards and downwards. So you've got a straight leg. That was 3. 4.
When you do the one in the chair, you feel it more in the back of your leg because you're bending your leg, whereas the standing one you do it with a straight leg. So it works slightly different muscles, but still working the legs.
Alright, we've got 2 more. Up and down. Last one. Squeeze. And it's your backside you're squeezing. Now you will have noticed that leg you're standing on working so hard, and you will have also felt some muscles below your back here. And we've got to keep all those muscles strong. I'd like to do one more set on each leg. We're going to do these a little bit faster, okay? So for those of you sitting, you might go to get your foot so far under. Okay, away we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. And remember, you can stop and have a break. You don't have to keep going. Okay, other foot ready, nice and tall, and away we go. That's 3 down. 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good work. Alright, you might want to give those legs a shake out. You might want to have a bit of a wriggle round and maybe give it a bit you've used a rub. Alright, and our last exercise for our strength work is a squat. And it's pretty similar to the stand up, sit down and the hoverings we've been doing. So I'll turn side on once I've shown you what your feet look like. So ideally, your feet pointed forward. Some people's feet like to turn out a little bit, that's okay. And you're going to have your hips right over top of your feet. So that's wider than hip distance. We're going hip distance. Okay? Now, if the front of your knees hurt, kneecap area, it might be that you're not pushing your bottom back enough, far back enough. So we used to call this a potty squat. Some people don't like that, but if you think about a public toilet, and the way my mum trained me was to keep my backside off the seat. So I would have to push my bottom right back, and as you come up. So a squat looks like that. Down and up. And just as I said, push your heels into the floor for the stand up, sit down. I'm going to do the same thing. So you might want to hold the chair. Kasha's going to, I think she's going to stand up and do squats. And she's just going to do really little ones. So you can do just very small ones. But what I want you to think about, regardless of what size you're doing, as you come back up, think about those gluteal muscles, great big muscles that are a bit lazy. So as you come back up, push your heels into the floor and squeeze your backside. But just watch, it's not this. Which you see some people doing. We don't want to do that. Okay, so let's try nice and slowly. Down for 2 counts and up for 2 counts. Down for 2 counts and up. Now there is a bit of forward lean, but you don't have to lean forward like that. If you do a slightly smaller one, you can keep your head right up, so you can watch Kasha how she does it. If you're going to come down a bit lower, you can't help but have a bit of a forward lean. So let's do 2 more, and come up, and 1 more, and come up. So our legs have worked pretty hard today, so if you don't want to do any more, don't do any more. But if you think you can, well, we try them a bit more slowly. Okay, we'll take 4 counts as low as you can go. Away we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now push into your heels. 2, 3. 3, squeeze that backside. I have to really think about squeezing my backside. Down we go. 2, 3, because it's a bit lazy. Squeeze, 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 and one more should do it. Down. 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, and squeeze. Good. All right, and our last exercise is done sitting down. Lucky us. You can do it standing up, but you don't need to. So one of the things that we always want to have strong are our ankles. And so this is going to be a heel and toe tap. So heel, toe, heel, toe. And there's a bonus that you get some work into your quads, these muscles at the top here. So we haven't got a lot of time left. So we'll just find a nice brisk song. All right, so sitting tall. Actually, let's start with this leg. And then go heel, toe, nice and slowly. So you're going to try and put your toe down where your heel had been. If this muscle at the top, or these muscles at the top get too tired, have a rest. Now let's speed it up just for 8. Oh, I can feel that. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Good. All right, other foot ready. So slow ones to start with. Just realign yourself and sit nice and tall. Let's go. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. And faster. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work, everyone. All right, last bit of work, and it won't seem like work. So we're going to sit tall. I'm going to sit to the front of the chair because I've got short legs, and we're going to do some head turning. So just pop your shoulders down, tuck everything in, be tall, and slowly turn your head to the side, and then bring it back, and go to the other side. And take it to one side, listen slowly, and back to the other side. Good, and then bring it into the middle, and look up, and then down. Tuck the chin in, up. I can sort of feel the floor shaking, could you, Coach? Just wondering if
we are in town.
Just had an earthquake. All right, so now finger in front of the nose. And you're going to take your finger to one side, but not let your head turn. Keep your eyes on the finger. And in a couple of classes' time, we'll try and do this when we're standing in a semi-tandem stand. Okay, and bring it back to the centre. You might want to blink your eyes a couple of times. Now take your finger up, but not your head moving, and down. Eyes up. Eyes down. One more time. Eyes up. Eyes down. Good. All right, wriggle it all out. And let's take a stretch. So I'll turn a little bit side on. So the first thing we're going to stretch are our hamstrings. So these are the big muscles behind our leg. Pop your hands on the bent leg, chin up, chest out, and just lean forward far enough to feel the tugging underneath the back of your leg. Just a little bit of a tugging, stretching feeling. So we don't want to come right down like that. We're trying to get our ribs close to our legs. And we should hold that for 15-20 seconds, but it does feel like a very long time. Make sure your toes pulled up. All right, let's go to the other leg. And set it up so you're tall, and then you're going to hinge forward, and down we go. Oh, for some reason I can feel that leg way more. So if you've got really tight muscles in the back of your leg, you might want to do the stretch during the day. And the best way to do it is to hold the stretch until you can't feel the tension anymore. And it might be 30 seconds, it might be a bit longer. Okay, that's nice. All right, so We're not going to stretch out these muscles, but I want you just to give them a rub. Because the stretches for these will teach you another time. Okay, all right, and we'll just put our backsides right on the chair, and our back on the chair. This is a lean back chair.
It is.
So I'm going to actually sit tall, and I want you to imagine you are hugging a big round object like a Swiss ball, and you've got your arms around a tree. Quite sure why you want to do that. And then we'll open out and just gently with bent arms squeeze our shoulder blades together. So you're not going to do it really strong, it's just gentle. And let's come around one more time. So you've got a C shape with your back. You're trying to sink in through the tummy.
So you're going to tuck your tail underneath, yeah?
You tuck your tail under. And this time when we come up, we're going to push backwards and lift our chins up. Nice. All right, shake that out. And, we will stretch through the neck here. So head to the side. So drape your arms down the side or top them on your lap, it doesn't matter. Then you can take one hand and gently press down the opposite shoulder. Or you can just keep your head to the side. So we're trying to just lengthen out here. Just be gentle with your shoulder. Okay, coming back to the middle and just do a little bit of a circle backwards. And then the other side. So we drop our head first, and then if that feels okay, gently press down. There we go. A little bit longer. You might get enough of a stretch without doing the press on the shoulder. And one very last stand up. And then you can sit down once the class is finished. So you might be able to do it with no hands. Those heels are going to press into the floor. 1, 2, 3, and up. Oh, tired legs. And come around the back of your chair very carefully. Just make sure your balls are not going to trip you up. And we're going to take one leg back. Now, it's very specific how you need to do this stretch to get the stretch. So we're stretching our calf muscles. Your toe of the back leg wants to point straight ahead. So lots of times your foot turns like that. Try and get your toe to point straight ahead and push backwards so that heel is planted on the ground. So you've got a bent front leg, a straight back leg. And then just slowly and gently come up onto the toe of the back leg. And then you're going to roll down your foot and push your heel back into the floor. Come up very, very gently, slowly, and push it down. And where you'll feel that is in this big bulky part of your calf muscle here. Okay, let's do one more up onto your toes and down. And now you're going to bring the back leg halfway in, so the distance has been halved, and in. It's like you're sitting into that back leg. So both legs are now bent, heels on the ground if you can keep it there, and you're pushing your knee downwards and slightly forwards. And you'll get this stretch starting in your heel and coming up the middle of the calf area. That's good. Yeah, if you've done, and all that bouncing around we did, if you did the bouncy tap and the fast feet, we need to stretch out those muscles. And the toe marching, you'll have used your calf muscles. Right, other leg. That might not be enough stretching for you. You might want to do a bit more. So we've got a long, straight back leg. We come up onto the toe and then roll gently down, heel to the floor. Roll upwards and down we go. And we'll do one last one of those up onto your toe and down. Then halve the distance, sitting down into that. You should instantly feel that stretch in a different place, sitting down into that back leg. And hold that for a little while. It's a bit of pressure on the knee, so you might not like that one too much for the back leg, but see if you can do a little bit of it. All right, so that's our class done. Well done, everyone. We're going to take a big scoop in and breathe in. And then push it out through the nose, so in through the nose and out through the nose. Come on in, scoop up another bit of air and gently out. And Kasia might want to say something.
Kia pai tō rā. Have a good day. Thanks for
Yes,
being
well
here.
done everyone.